Hey there guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about vision worlds and explaining in more detail what it is, specifically about how the farming works. I've seen a lot of questions saying what's the best place to farm, how does it work, etc. So I'm gonna go over all that in the video. For those of you that aren't familiar with vision worlds, it is the first time on global, so it's new content. Also, people requested to see like an example farming team. I'll show that at the end of the video as well. Okay, so Vision Worlds, it's basically Dark Visions with a prettier theme, but it's also like a MOG event as well. It's kind of 2-in-1. So, for one thing, it's the Dark Vision stuff. You saw earlier today, I posted a video about like high score runs. So for each boss, you want to go in here and get a perfect score, or the best score you can if you can't get it perfect. On all the bosses. Don't worry about the farming. Ignore that. Ignore bonus units. Take your best team. Get a perfect score, or get as close to as perfect score as you can. Once you've gone through every single boss and you've got your personal best score, at the current time, you can perfect score all the bosses. If you've done it all, you'll be sharing rank 1. The final boss next week will be a uncappable boss. At that point, your rank will be however hard you hit the kitty cat. But yeah, so go ahead and do all your scoring first. Once you're finished with all your high score runs, then the farming comes in. Okay, so the way the farming works, every time you kill one of these bosses, you've noticed that you've been getting 2 materials. You're getting a joined forces brave insignia, like the pogs as we sometimes call them. Those are used to upgrade the brave skills of collaboration units, but they're also being used for crafting for this event, and probably for all the future Vision World events as well. So those are going to come from killing the bosses. You'll get a lot of those. You get more of them with bonus units. They're also going to be dropping item-specific gear. Crafting materials. If you look in here, reward Omen Book. Down here for the Rock Guy, reward Glepner. Dolan, reward Death Aura. Those are for crafting. Now, the way you get the crafting stuff, first of all, let's go back to Vision World real quick. I'm going to show you the milestones. Okay, so for just clearing, you're going to go ahead and get personal milestones, which is going to give you the majority of all the recipes. So by just clearing the bosses and you're scoring, if you've perfect scored everything, you've cleared all the way to the bottom. But all you have to clear as far as getting the recipes is up to at least 985,000 points. That'll get you every single recipe that you need to craft all the gear. If you can't score higher, if you're a newer player, you just can't get a high score, not a problem. As long as you can get about 1 billion points or 1 million points, you're fine. And that should be relatively easy even for like very, very new players. So that's going to get you all the recipes. Now, you're also going to be going to the Vortex. Is there a quick button on the screen somewhere? I don't see a quick button. Okay, so we're going to go to the Vortex the normal way. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Vortex, and we'll show where you get the recipes from. The rest of the stuff. So we're going to go to the Exchange, the top right. The King Mog, you're familiar with him. Although recently we've been getting King Mog stuff in like special, like themed stuff, like Balam Garden for Final Fantasy VIII, or what was the recent one we had? Final Fantasy IX. You had Alexandria or something. Anyway, but for this one we're talking to King Mog. So we're gonna go to King Mog. We're gonna go to Exchange, and at the top right you'll see the currency is the Joined Forces Brave Insignias. That's also currency for King Mog. This is where the base gear comes from. So you want to basically just buy it all. This is all limit of 1. You want to buy 1 copy each. So buy the base copy of everything. All of this, buy it all. It's very, very cheap. 1 copy a piece. That's going to give you the base item. Also, there is a lot of potions, and you should for the most part clear out the entire store by the end of the event. This is all very cheap. The only reason I haven't bought the potions yet is because I don't feel like cleaning up the inventory right now. I'll do that on the weekend or something. Buy all the dark matter, buy all the star quartz. Here's some trust moguls for Angela and Hawkeye. You can use these with prism moguls if you decide to skip the units and don't want to, pull on Secret of Mana or Trials of Mana. You can actually use prism moguls to get these TMRs if you want to. Angela's is nothing special, but Hawkeye's is a demon killer chess piece. May be interesting. I probably wouldn't use the Prism Mogul on it, but it is an option. And yeah, so anyway, the important thing to buy from the store is the crafting, the base gear to be crafted. Now, we're going to take those recipes that we got from the milestones, and we're going to go with this base gear that you've bought. We're going to start upgrading that all the way to +4 through the crafting menu. So after you buy the gear and after you've obtained the recipes, we can go to the Enhance Equipment menu, and you'll see the stuff. So it starts at rank 0, and using this crafting stuff down here, it upgrades all the way to +4. Each tier takes more and more materials. I'm not sure the entire grand total what it cost. I think it's something around 4,000 materials total to go from 0 to +4. I'm making up a number. I could be wrong on that. In any case, it's gonna each of the items takes its own special material. As you see, the Dragon Staff takes the Omen Book. Skullhead takes the Duelist Tag. Lupine Guard takes the Gleipnir, etc., etc. There's an accessory as well. There's also the Materia. That one's in the Abilities menu. So go to Abilities and Special, and here's where you upgrade the Materia. So it starts at low rank somewhere in here. Where does it start at? Fairies. It starts with this one, Fairy's Wish, and then with Secret Seeds, you upgrade it all the way to Fairy's Guidance, etc. So the way we get these materials, not this. The way we get these materials, there's two ways to get these materials. One way for those of you that just want to, not efficiently, but want to just directly get it, you can go to the Items menu, and you can craft all of these. So here's the Secret Seed. All of this can be crafted with Brave Insignia's Join Forces. Again, the Join Forces, and they're all over the place. There's here's a bunch of them. Here's a bunch of them. Yeah, you can craft all the materials from Brave Insignia. Also, I'll mention, these are all consumables that you can actually use in battle as items. And some of these are pretty decent. Like this is whatever, it's a potion basically. But I'll show you the most interesting one is the Duelist Tag. This is actually really neat. It allows you to AoE Dark Imbue your entire party with an item. I would recommend before this event is over, everyone crafts a lot of these. Not 4,000 of them, but I'm going to craft a minimum of 999 of these. Just so I guess until the end of time, have enough of these to imbue my party with dark. And this can sometimes be really useful in a strategy. It's a great item. It's a unique item. No other way can do this. It can be used all over the place except Clash of Wills. But yeah, we're kind of getting off topic right there. But anyway, the rest of these, do things like boost attack power. This one reduces spirit. Some of these give you chaining frames. Like this gives you Absolute Mirror of Equity chaining frames. This one gives you Absolute Mirror of Equity chaining frames. So yeah, so in any case, all this stuff you're farming can also be used as items. Just keep that in mind. But anyway, if you want to directly get these materials, you can craft it with the Brave Insignias. The most efficient way, that is not the most efficient way though. The best way to do it is to farm it directly from the Benevodons, because these drop Brave Insignias as well as the craftable items. Okay, so there's a few different amounts you can get, or ratios I should say. So over here at the bottom left, it shows you the 3 ratios. So each of the bosses, has 3 bosses, level 1, level 2, and then just the regular boss. I'm going to call it the EX boss, although they call it the EX boss in JP. I guess they're not calling it that on global. So we're just going to call it level 1, level 2, and then the EX boss. It's 10 energy, 20 energy, and 40 energy for these bosses. So if we come back over here, we can see that the 3 difficulty levels and the amount of both the special crafting material and the Join Forces insignia you're going to get from each boss. So killing level 1 will give you 10 of each at a baseline. Now this 10 is then multiplied by your bonus percent from your team. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so if you kill level 1, you're going to get a 10 for 10, or basically a 1 material per 1 energy spent ratio for both of them. At level 2, it's, same thing, 1 material per 1 energy spent ratio. So between these two, obviously level 2 is the better farm. On the EX stage, or the highest difficulty, you'll notice it's not a good ratio. It's 40 energy, and you'll get 40 of the specific materials, but you will only get 20 of the insignia. So you're getting a half as much ratio on the insignias. And if you remember, insignias can be converted directly into the materials. So you want to never, ever, ever farm the highest difficulty of these bosses, unless you're just short on time. If you just want to dump, 200 energy within 30 seconds, farm the highest boss, get it done. It's less efficient with your energy, but it's more efficient with your time. But level 2 is good efficiency. Now there is an exception to this, is the final boss, or the final, wink wink, the other final boss too. But yeah, so Zabel Fair and Belladonna, once she opens up, they give you, if you look down here, they give you a better ratio, 60 per clear. And if you remember, Zabel Fair and Belladonna cost 50 energy per attempt. So for this one, you're getting, I'm so bad at math, 1.2 ratio or something, or 1.1 ratio per energy spent. So this is the best ratio, is farming Zabel Fair, going in here and OTKing it. The only downside is Zabel Fair will always drop the 60 insignias, but the material he drops is random. It'll always drop one of them, but it's a random one. Now, that is not a problem in the beginning of the event, because in the beginning of the event, you need all of the materials to craft all of the gear. I really recommend you craft all of it and don't skip any of it. So for the beginning, you need every single crafting material to craft all the gear to level 4. So to start off, after you finish all your high score runs, you're going to want to come in and just farm Zabel Fair over and over and over. Use all your energy farming Zabel Fair. You're going to get tons and tons of Joined Forces materials. You're also going to get a lot of random materials. Now, using that, you want to kind of keep track. After, every 4 or 5 kills, come over here to the crafting menu and see what of the gear you can upgrade. You're going to upgrade it all as high as you can. I've gotten lots, not that one. Which one have I gotten? One of these I got a lot of, and I'm already at really high rank. The Lupine Guard. I've gotten a lot of Glepnir drops from Zabel Fair. I've farmed him, with my spare energy today. He's dropped the Glepnir like 3 or 4 times. Because of that, my Lupine Guard's already +2. It'll be +3 on the next kill that drops Glepnirs. So, at some point, it's random. Because I'm farming Zabel Fair, it's random. Like Ruby Mask, I haven't gotten any. I haven't gotten a single drop of Dust Dice from Zabel Fair. So you want to keep farming Zabel Fair until you start finishing a few of the items. I don't know, like, the perfect, the best time to stop. But at some point, if you're farming him, some of these are going to finish sooner than others. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 8 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 7 items. Yeah, there's 7 items to craft. So after farming Zabel Fair, let's say after you finish 3 of them, maybe 4 of them from the random drops, at that point, assuming you're only farming and you're not directly crafting, you're pretty much done. Because while you've gotten a bunch of drops from Zabel Fair and finished it, you're going to also have been getting tons and tons of insignias. Let's say you didn't finish the materia, but you finished the other 3. You're going to have something like, 100,000 Brave insignias at this point. You can use the remainder of those to craft exactly as many you're needing and finish it off. The other option is, after you've finished off most of the stuff from Zabel Fair and you don't want random drops anymore, you've only got 2 items left to finish crafting, you want to specifically target farm those, you can then go into the Battle of the Benevodons and you can start target farming. Like, we know that Dusk Dice is needed for one of the pieces. In any case, whatever it was that I didn't get many drops of Dusk Dice, and that comes from, who drops the Dusk Dice? Over here, it comes from Gust Hall. So I can farm Dusk Dice from Gust Hall until I finish it off. So hopefully I've kind of mostly explained the best way to do it. So, just a brief summary. Farm Zabel Fair or Belladonna when it opens. Belladonna is the same ratio as Zabel Fair, so I would recommend Zabel Fair. It's a lot easier to OTK. Belladonna is going to be really bulky. So just farm Zabel Fair, OTK it on turn 1. It's pretty easy. I'll show you how I'm doing it in a moment. Get a bunch of drops. After that, you can either use your Brave insignias to craft the materials for the ones that Zabel Fair did not drop, and top it all off, and you'll be finished farming this by like the middle of the week, and you'll be fine. You could also target farm the remainders, and then you're gonna have a lot of time left over, assuming you've got good bonus. And then you can do what you want. You can, you've got free energy. Or remember, like I mentioned, all of that gear, all of that stuff are really nice consumables. Also, these are universal collaboration insignias. So if you've got spare energy, maybe you want to just farm Zabelfair for the entire week, even after you're done crafting, get a really big stockpile, and then when eventually the other collaborations come to global, like Dragon Quest, Xenogears, or maybe some global exclusive collaborations, they're all going to use the Join Forces insignias. You've got a big stockpile. You can craft all the gear on day one. So, yay. In any case, so as far as farming goes, you want to use bonus units. Now let's go to the news real quick, and I'll show you the brief list of bonus units. You can check this for yourself in the news. Events, we're on Battle of the Benevodons. And if you scroll down here, we've got bonus units. All right, here we go. So you want to farm with your best bonuses. Obviously, the 2 new units are 300%. A bunch of old units are 100%. 50% for these. And just get the best team you can that has high bonus. Now, if you can build a full bonus team and still, OTK the boss on turn 1, that's great. If you can't, if your bonus units aren't very good, don't struggle with it and try to force yourself to use a full bonus team. Like if you really have to, drop 1 unit and add your best non-bonus finisher. Like add Sephiroth, add Tifa, just add someone that can help you OTK. Because, there's really no reason to be stressed out and go for absolute optimum bonus drops if you just can't, if it's making it a headache to farm the boss. You know what I mean? So here's my personal farming team. I'm farming Zabelfair. Like I mentioned, I'll be farming him for most of the week until I've gotten the majority of the gear crafted through his random drops, and then I'll target farm the remainders. But this is all bonus. It's a full bonus team. Luckily, I've got Carton, and Carton almost solos this by himself. But here's a bonus team. I'll show you a quick kill. Let's save those. Those are uniques. Those orange potions. And anyway, let's go ahead and do a quick bonus clear. And I just OTK it on turn 1, and I'll show you how I'm doing it. I can't swear to you that this is the most optimal way to do it. It's just the way I'm doing it. So, you do it your way. So Roka on my turn, my clear just does her stat and LB buff. Daisy is a bonus unit, just Chaos Grenades for the break because I needed some kind of a break. Chaos Grenade, sure. Carton starts in the shift form, is going to do Frenzy. Lucius, bonus unit, is going to triple Bolting Strike. Now, Bolting Strike is single target. It doesn't really matter. Ibarra, shifted LB. Oliveira, shifted LB. And we just chain it up. This is just kind of like a whatever clear. But, chains are breaking all over the place. It's wrong element. It doesn't matter. These bosses are, to just OTK them is easy. We almost damage capped with my broken chains. We almost hit the damage cap. This boss is so nerfed for global, or power crept for global, I guess is the proper way to say it, because they didn't buff it. In any case, as I mentioned, Carton is basically soloing this for me. If you don't have Carton, it'd obviously be a little bit trickier to do, especially because, Oliveira, for example, is wrong element, so is Ibarra. Ibarra did 45,000 or 45 million. That is nothing. Lucius basically did nothing. So, if you don't have Carton, obviously it would be a little bit more of a tricky farm. So we'll see the drops right here. So here is the baseline of 60 drops. I got the seed this time. The seed is used to craft the materia. I think it's my first time getting a seed, so yay. And as you see at the bottom, it's then multiplied by your bonus party. So I'm getting 630 of each material per clear based on my bonus party. And yeah, and if I didn't have Carton, if I'm going to be completely honest here, I'm the kind of player that goes for extreme efficiency even at the cost of convenience. I would still struggle bust every clear with a bad team if I couldn't easy OTK it. But for most players, I know most players get burnt out on farming that isn't trivial. So if you're having problems, again, drop your lowest bonus unit and just bring your best non-bonus finisher and make it easy on yourself. These are relatively easy to clear on turn 1. Anyway, hopefully I have explained how the farming works for Trials of Mana. So yeah, so for the rest of the week, farm those materials, Get all of the gear crafted, do +4. It's very, very powerful gear. It's effectively completely free. Get to it. I'll see you guys for more, guide videos later in the week.